Okay, so today is kind of review day. I did the 40 questions tag and my video is taking forever to upload. So in the meantime, we are doing some reviews on various products that I've been getting some questions on. So this one is going to be on the Revlon Photoready foundation. My color is in 002 Vanilla, and I believe it's the lightest yellow based one that they have. It was the lightest one that they had at my store, and it claims to have perfected airbrushed skin in any light with complete coverage, oil-free and fragrance-free. And there are a couple really good things about this. The first one is the pump. Unlike the Color Stay, which I absolutely love, this one has a pump, and it is a wonderful pump. It's got a nice lid that goes over it, and it clicks on really tight. I mean, you have to really pull to get it off. And the pump is one of those where you can, it's got a little hair on it, you can, squirt just the tiniest amount. I mean, just absolutely the tiniest amount. Or you can, give yourself a whole full face worth. Because it's got a very good spring in it. The other thing is that this matches my skin tone almost perfectly. And I am a very, very fair-skinned person with yellow undertones in my skin. So for me to find one that actually matches my skin tone, I thought this was really going to be my holy grail product. And I got it home and I tried it. And I had read some reviews that said that it was rather shimmery. And I thought, well, I could tone that down with some powder, that kind of thing. And honestly, it didn't really bother me. I felt like my skin had a bit of a glow. And if I paid attention and I was pretty careful about how I turned my head in the light, I could actually see the shimmer that they were talking about. But it didn't bother me. And as a person with oily skin, for me to say shimmer didn't bother me is a big deal. I just really liked it. I felt like my skin looked better than it ever had. That said, this will not stay on my face to save my life. The coverage is not nearly as good. It says it's got complete coverage. It is not nearly as good as the Color Stay. And I had heard Glintsy say that you could mix it about half and half with the Color Stay and get an absolute holy grail foundation. And for a while, I really liked it that way. The problem is again, this will not stay on my skin. I get really, really shiny in my T-zone. By the time I've hit the 8-hour mark with this foundation, now I do have allergies, so that's part of it, but by the time that I hit the 8-hour mark with this foundation, it has completely, like, across the tip of my nose, it is rubbed off to nothing. Excuse me. It will have left a line across my nose. It will be completely patchy on my nose. Almost to the point where I'd rather just wipe it off completely. Excuse me, I'm so sorry, I've been sick. I don't have skin that's that oily. I have combo skin and I do get pretty shiny. I also do have a tendency to make foundations oxidize, so I don't know if that makes me much more acidic or something than the average person. So if anybody has any knowledge of why this might be happening, let me know. I also tried to put this on over the Mary Kay oil mattifier, and I didn't have the best luck with that. It didn't seem to really do any good. So if anybody knows of a really good mattifying primer or something that controls oil, let me know, because I love this foundation, but unfortunately, if you've got combo to oily skin, it's just not going to work. Now, if you want to put it on and take some pictures, look beautiful for a couple of hours, it will make your skin look amazing. But it won't stay, I'm so sorry, it won't stay for 10 hours the way that the Color Stay will. And the Color Stay will. If you don't go scratching at your face, the Color Stay will go on in the morning. I put mine on this morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. It is now midnight, and while my skin does by no means look perfect, it does not look as anywhere near what it would look like before I put my makeup on. Most of my makeup is still there. And this is not going to give you that effect. So maybe if you used it with a really good primer. I don't tend to use primers because I've noticed that they tend to make my makeup wear off worse. So again, if you know of a good primer, let me know. But I would really suggest this for anybody who has very normal skin. I think that because it's so shimmery, it does not build well, and I think it would accent people who have mature skin or very dry skin. I think it would accent any flakiness and possibly any deep set lines. Fine lines you're probably okay with. It did wonderful. I have very large pores along my nose and cheeks, and it didn't accentuate those at all or anything. The shimmer was very nice. I've heard this compared to the NARS Sheer Glow and the Makeup Forever HD foundation. They all kind of give you that skin look. And if you've ever noticed, if you look at your skin, it does have some shine to it. It's not matte. So this is not going to make you look like somebody has sprayed you with glitter or like you've got baby oil on your face or something like that. It's just going to give you that really, really nice look. Now, a couple of notes. If you're going to use this and you are a stippling brush user, if you like the 187, whether from MAC or Sigma, if you know, that kind of thing, the Sonia Kashuk one, whatever, this is not a stippling brush foundation. This is not a makeup brush foundation. I think those flat paddle brushes are like the 190 or 192, something like that. What this is a sponge or a finger foundation. I have three. I have MAC 187, I have the SS 187 from Sigma, and then I have the Sonia Kashuk version. I really like my dual fiber stippling brushes, but this is not a foundation that works with it. So it really needs to be blended in a totally different way. I used this with a sponge, one of those little cosmetic wedges, and absolutely loved it. And if you have one of those beauty blenders, I would imagine it would work beautifully. I've never bought one, but like I said, I'm sure it would just be lovely. So use it with a sponge. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And don't, in my opinion, don't bother to buy the powder. I didn't. I haven't heard anybody on YouTube who's bought both say that the powder was anything special. In fact, most of them will tell you don't buy the powder. This is like $13 or $14, and the powder is too. So, I mean, if you're getting it on like a buy one, get one free thing at like Walgreens or Rite Aid or whatever, then that's one thing. But I wouldn't spend the $15 or $14 or whatever it is to buy the powder also. I would just use whatever your favorite powder is, because it doesn't seem to be anything special. And like I said, the coverage is not as good with this. If you were to mix this with the Revlon Color Stay, I would definitely use the Color Stay on your blemishes and then put this over the whole thing, rather than try to use it the way you would with your Color Stay, where you just add it up, you know, sort of build your coverage. Now, what I had done is I actually took an empty bottle of my Color Stay and I mixed it like half and half. And then I had my, you know, just regular bottle that I would use. So I would pour out a little bit of this and I would tap it on my blemishes, and then I would cover it with this. And you'll use less when they're mixed, which is interesting. but you seem like you get better coverage from the two of them together. But like I said, if you have oily skin, it probably